Hi, I'm Ed Russell, a director within our infrastructure product management department here at Discover. I've spent the last 18 years within technology here, with roles primarily in operations and application development. When I'm not working, you'll most likely find me on a golf course or at home spending time with my family.
Hi, I'm Heather Martin, and I've worked for Discover for about 15 years. I'm currently a director in our business technology department. I'm a mom of three littles, shown here, also now known as my coworkers, who provide me great joy and sometimes great pain all in the same day. Most proud that I was able to finish up my master's this past August, despite all that was going on in the world, which only took about 3 years, but truly an invaluable experience. Outside of work, I'm a huge runner, fitness junkie, and I help lead our women in technology community at Discover. I'm a huge advocate for the human trafficking cause, volunteering, educating, and raising awareness.
So as we mentioned, we work for Discover. I'm sure you're all aware of our award-winning credit card and personal bank offerings. What you may be surprised to learn is that while we are a financial services company, we are very much a leader in the technology space. We lead with technology first to effectively compete and play to win across our industry, providing our customers the value and personal experiences they desire. We also strive to make a difference in our community through financial education, providing our employees with many benefits and resources, and by making positive impact in the community through giving and volunteerism. This photo was taken last year right before our entire technology organization spent the day in our community restoring two elementary schools that had no resources to do so on their own. Volunteerism runs deep throughout our culture, and it's one of the many things I love and value about working here. So as a reminder, I want to be sure that everyone understands the views expressed in this presentation are ours individually and not necessarily those of our employer. So just like any good problem, the first step is recognizing and accepting that you have a problem that needs to be solved. As we prepared for 2020, we reached the stage where we recognized that the way we were working and delivering capabilities to our partners in application development wasn't going to continue to meet their needs and allow us and them to continue driving value for the business and our card members. We knew that business needs for technology would continue to grow and that we would continue to face pressure to deliver faster in response to competition from fintechs and other financial services companies embracing the cloud. We also knew that as our internal consumers became more accustomed to cloud offerings, that their expectations for our more traditional on-prem offerings would have to be optimized to meet the needs of our consumers while they continue to modernize their applications and offerings to take advantage of the newer cloud solutions. We also recognized that we needed to improve our feedback loops and provide quicker innovation to our consumers instead of waiting for new technologies and demand to surprise us. Our options were to continue on the way we had been in a traditional plan, build, run organizational model, which we really knew wouldn't scale, or we had to identify ways to do things differently across the whole organization rather than in pockets as we had seen happen previously. The first step in our journey was to get a better understanding of our inefficiencies and opportunities. For years, we had been working under the premise that our consumers didn't need to know anything about the way that infrastructure was delivered. This caused us to become disconnected from them and their needs, and it really enabled us to believe that we were doing a much better job than we really were. To begin improving our performance, we had many conversations with our consumers, asking them for feedback on our service, where they felt we can improve, and what ultimately mattered most to them. Our consumers were more than eager to share feedback with us. In fact, they relished the opportunity to provide real, meaningful feedback on our performance as a partner, in a lot of cases, really for the first time. For those of you that have operated in a similar plan, build, run model, I'm sure none of the following feedback will surprise you. We weren't consumer focused. They told us that it was often a challenge to figure out how to engage us properly to get work done. What they really wanted was what they received with many of their vendor relationships, which was a single point of contact to help guide them to the correct solutions. They wanted reusable patterns based on their needs and a simple way to request and receive them. In reality, what they wanted was to be able to focus on solving business problems and not on figuring out how to get environments so they could write, test, and deliver their code. They also told us that we delivered too slowly. Seeing as that we were quite siloed in our delivery, we didn't recognize how long it took for us to stand up a fully functioning environment. In our silos, we thought we were doing a great job. Sure, we could deliver a new VM in 15 minutes using automation, but it wasn't usable to our consumers. It didn't have the necessary firewall rules, it didn't have the software and configurations that they needed, and a whole slew of other work that we were passing back to application development when they would try to consume our offerings. So while we were touting quick delivery of a server, in reality, it would often take weeks for that newly created server to be useful. Our consumers also told us that we were too quick to hide behind tickets and processes. What was successful for them one time would be unsuccessful the next. Our solutions weren't outcome-based, and we expected our consumers to know the secret formula of ServiceNow requests to submit in order to get working infrastructure. Nothing was more frustrating for them than to spend an hour submitting 15 requests, only to find out that they submitted the incorrect form or didn't provide the right information. Plus, very few of the processes were connected and orchestrated, so our consumers were left with very little idea on how long the work would actually take for them to get the equipment that they needed. The last major piece of feedback was that we were slow to embrace new patterns and technology, especially as our consumers became more accustomed to cloud offerings. They wanted us to adapt our internal offerings to anticipate where they would have needs in the future versus playing catch up to their new needs as we had in the past. In essence, they wanted us to be more cloud-like in our solutions and delivery. So we took all this feedback and started to think about how we could do things different. We engaged some external partners, seeking wisdom from those who were further ahead of us in this journey, with hopes that we could learn from their successes and failures. One of the first steps was assessing how we were organized and identifying our opportunities